Hello, everybody. Welcome to Optimism Fractal. We're here for our 47th meeting, our 1 year anniversary celebration of Optimism Fractal. We're going to be playing the Respect game and have lots of exciting stuff planned for the day. So, thanks all so much for joining. Have the pleasure to be here with Bram, Rosmari, Will, Eric, Samuel. Welcome, Samuel, joining for the first time. Hodlon joining back for the first time in a while. Pat Novabat and Eric. If anyone wants to say a quick hello, then feel free to share a bit of enthusiasm. I'm going to share a presentation about Optimism Fractal and what we're going to be talking about today, what we're going to be doing today, the Respect game. So thanks again for watching. Thanks for being here. And I suppose I'll get into the presentation.
Roll that beautiful OP fractal footage.
All
My
right.
goodness.
Thank you. My goodness. OptimismFractal.com is a place where you can learn about Optimism Fractal, which is a community dedicated to fostering collaboration, awarding public goods creators, and optimizing governance on the Superchain. So on this website, you can learn about the events. You can RSVP for the events that we host each week on Thursdays at 17 UTC that provide a perfect place to network and make friends and collaborate with talented builders in the Superchain. And each event, we play the Respect game. It's an on-chain social game. It's a wonderful game where we go into breakout rooms of 3 to 6 people and random breakout groups, and each person shares what they've done to help optimism for a few minutes. Then we collaborate to rank each other's contributions to evaluate impact and contributions, and then when we reach consensus, then we receive a soulbound token called Respect, and people with higher ranks earn more Respect. All sorts of cool things come from Respect, and also we produce videos of each event too that you can watch on the website or on YouTube. You can take part in the videos, you can watch the videos, you can share the videos. All of the above are recommended. And also we're building tools for the Respect game and for decision making with Respect as well. So we have lots of tools, articles, and GitHub repositories and so forth that you can get involved with. You can use. We now have some really great apps that have recently been released. These Optimism Fractal events is a great place to develop your on-chain career and business, whether you're new to Optimism or an experienced contributor. We're building in public. We have a Notion site where we're organizing a lot of our projects and tasks and resources along the way. And there's lots of funding opportunities going on in Optimism as well across the Superchain, such as retro funding, which is currently in the 6th round to reward people who have contributed to Optimism governance. Dev tooling is coming up soon, and there's almost 800 million more OP coming up to fund contributors to Optimism Collective. Here at Optimism Fractal, we're trailblazing the future of governance. So Optimism Fractal is a culmination of years of development from many, many builders who have been working to create a more free and fair society. We have a Optimism Fractal Sage Council, which uses the principles of fractal democracy and the respect token that anybody can participate if you've earned respect to help lead the community. And after the Optimism Fractal Respect Game event, there's also an Optimism Town Hall event that everybody's welcome to join if you'd like, where we have discussions about optimism in the Superchain, featuring community agenda games where people can vote on topics with respect. So you can learn more about our history in an article on the website and also in a details page that you can find all on optimismfractal.com. Optimismfractal.com is kind of nurtured by edenfractal.com, which is another fractal community which has been in operation for just about a few years now. You can learn more at edenfractal.com and the Optimistics team that built the tools and founded Optimism Fractal back in 2023. You can learn more at optimistics.io, and you can learn more about Optimism at optimism.io. We're building the Superchain together, an interconnected network of blockchain scaling Ethereum with the OP stack, with Base, WorldCoin, OP mainnet, Sonium from Sony, Zora mode, etc. You can learn more on the website. And the best way to get involved with Optimism Fractal is to join the weekly events on Thursdays at 17 ETC, play the Respect game, and join us here at these events. We'd love to meet new people. You can register at lou.ma/optimistics, and feel free to share this link around with any builders who are interested in optimism or people who are interested in optimism in general. And we also appreciate likes and retweets and shares on social media. So for example, the Optimistics teams put out these great tweets and promotions talking about the Optimism retro games that we're going to be playing today, special Respect games for the 1 year anniversary. So we're going to be basically starting with our traditional Respect game like we've done in the past 46 events, and then afterwards at the town hall we have some special celebration events coming up. So appreciate likes and retweets and so forth on Warpcast, on Twitter, on the Optimism Governance forum as well, where you can find recaps. And like I said, you can watch all the videos, the videos tab up there detailed with show notes and timestamps and so forth, where you can see all the cool stuff we've been up to, the tools we've been building, and the initiatives going on in the Superchain. It's on the Eden Creators YouTube channel as well. I'm going to give a quick Optimism Town Hall preview and then a quick community news section about news going on. Then we're going to play the Respect game. So like I said, Optimism Town Hall is coming up after the Respect game today. It's a separate event, but everybody's welcome to join. And there is the Optimism Fractal RetroPitches and retrospective session where everybody's going to get a chance to share their retrospectives, their experiences, contributions to Optimism Fractal, what they've thought about Optimism Fractal over the past year. very curious to hear your thoughts about this for anybody who can stick around or wants to join for the Optimism Town Hall. It'll be a really fun event. And I also want to just thank everybody too for the incredible experiences and all the amazing contributions that we've had over the past year too. It's been a huge pleasure collaborating with you all. There's a topic proposed on Snapshot here where you can see more details with the event format and so forth. We're going to have some retro polls and pioneer impact evaluation in different ways. Thanks to Will for also making some topics this week too that we can mention later. This is part of the broader retro season celebrations, which we have an article about optimistics.io/retro season. And yeah, there's been some great events going on this season. Quick news that I want to share. One is that we will be closing up Optimism Fractal Season 4 on next week, October 31st, and we'll be starting again on November 21st after a 2-week autumn break. That just passed in a proposal that you can see on Snapshot. And we also just produced a video kind of summarizing some of the great content from and great impact from Optimism Fractal at Eden Fractal yesterday too. So stay tuned for that video. Tadas made a proposal to move to the ORDAO smart contracts that he's been building for Optimism Fractal. He shared a post about this in Discord as well as a snapshot proposal too. So I encourage everybody to check this out. We did a town hall episode recently where he explained ORDAO, and he's done several other videos that we have curated on a website. So this is supposed to be the new software that Optimism Fractal uses for the respect game and making decisions and so forth. There's more details you can find on Discord. He appreciates feedback. And we have an article, optimistics.io, where you can learn more about the state-of-the-art set of EVM smart contracts. They're planned to be integrated with the Fractalgram software that Abraham has been building with Howard. So shout out to, by next season, we'll have some really nice software there. All built together. And also want to remind people that Vlad and Lenar have recently built the Respect Games app, which you can find at respect.games. It's now in beta testing and open for anybody to use. And we have an article too. You can learn about all these if you go to optimistics.io/tools in the top right corner. Quick Superchain news. There's also a lot of chains joining Superchain. Kraken just launched Ink on Chain powered by the OP stack. There's been some news about it, very exciting. And over the past few weeks, there's also been Unichain from Uniswap joining the Superchain, and WorldCoin launched WorldChain. You could see CEO of OpenAI present this at a recent event too. So really exciting growth going on in the Superchain. And now we're going to play the respect game. So I hope that everybody will enjoy. You can find the rules. You can feel free to ask me any questions in your room. Feel free to record your breakout room and share your screen to give participants and viewers a better understanding of your work, and share any links. And we'll try to wrap up the respect game maybe 5 or 10 minutes early before the top of the hour, so we have time for the to wrap it up before the celebrations going on at the Optimum Town Hall. That's it for the presentation. Thank you all for being here. Thank you all for listening. Welcome Zaal and welcome Howard. Thank you for joining. I will first I'll give everybody recording permissions, because I remember I forgot to do that last week. So in case we go into different breakout rooms where somebody's not recording, then everybody is welcome to record. And I hope that everybody has an awesome time in the breakout rooms.
Nice
Welcome, Dan.
Oh, we got Dan this week. Yeah.
Who are you? Who are you? I have never seen you before.
Zaal, what's
hey
up,
all,
Zaal?
it's nice to see you. I'm new here. Hey Zaal, good to see you. And
What's
to
up,
see you,
everyone?
Abraham.
Hello, everyone. I'm new here.
Oh,
Welcome,
hello.
Samuel. Thank you for joining.
Hello. Thank you.
I hope you're doing well, and I hope you'll enjoy the event. If you have any quick questions about how the event works, then feel free to share. But otherwise, we'll get started with the respect game, and we'll each take turns in sharing. We'll maybe briefly introduce ourselves when it's our turn, and we can also give a little bit of an overview about what we've been contributing to Optimism over the past week. And that'll be basically how it works. But if you want to say any quick words before then, Samuel, or quick questions, then feel free.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, sounds good. You're welcome. Does anybody want to go first?
Yes. I'm okay to go first. I will share, and then that will be very short. So my contribution of the, let's say, before this optimism of today, it's to interview for the EVM Smart Contract Explorer, Pavel Fedotov, and he was in RetroPGF season 3, then he was even on season 5. He was in contact with Abraham at a point to collaborate with him. So we were making a shoutout during the interview. So you have basically an MP3, because I do now for every video, I do systematically an MP3 after the interview. So if you have the MP3, That's not long to listen. That's very well made by some AI with Pictory.ai. And then you have basically the interview itself, where the image of the thumbnail of the video is representing the subject. But for the MP3, I take some cool image generated by some AI, asked, create me an image with a smart contract and a block explorer around, and he has produced me this image. So that takes some time to do all that for sure. But hopefully there is AI, Pictory.ai helping, and ChatGPT helping to summarize the interview here. I give that to Pictory.ai. I extract the SRT file or the TXT file. Then I give the TXT file to ChatGPT. I ask, create me a detailed summary. Then I review because ChatGPT do some errors sometimes. That's normal. And you need a human. And then I put that into this MP3. So that was my contribution. Then another contribution that I made also for Optimism, that was to summarize the last week Optimism into one MP3, as I stated. You find that into the Optimism Discord, where I put into video thread or category all the video that I do with the videos of Dance Enjoy and Rosmari. That's there, or others that are also doing videos. So basically, you find all under Nova Crypto LTD. That's the handle. That's also my handle in Telegram. Since 2018, I am always with this. And as you see, you have the retro. You have the last one with Pavel Fedotov, but then you have also here the summary of Optimism Fractal. Again, the MP3, just the MP3 because there is already the video by Dan and Rosmari. And then the goal is to put all that into the data collector, as I curate this one since a while now, but there is a Zaal that is here. He has sent his contribution to the mind map, and it is into the mind map. You cannot miss. You can send your contribution here with the links into the mind map here. Add your contribution to the mind map. Here, add your category to the Optimism Fractal. We have Optimism Fractal represented here. We have Upscale Fractal also. That's another fractal. And there is the Zaal Fractal. There is the Let's Grow network coming here. There will be a tree. And there will be a new branch into Optimism Fractal that will be the MP3s. Oh, this music. There will be an MP3 branch with all the MP3s, as there is also interviews branch with all the interviews. And I announce here I will interview Abraham for his Fractal app on November 11 at 17 UTC. I will interview him, and then that will be published very rapidly. So thank you. And Zaal I will interview also. Thank you. Let's finish. I will give the mic to...
Quick question before you give the mic. So we're free to update this at will, or you're just still updating this on the mind map?
Okay, I will explain about the authorities and the permission. As for the trees of ATS protocol, when I interview with David Erlichman, if someone wants to update a tree, he has to export a JSON file, and then the JSON file will be given to someone else that will update the tree. And for the mind map, that's the same ID. If I let everyone to update the mind map automatically, I have no more control on anything. That's the open door to any maybe cautious things. So now Zaal has sent through the form. I received the links. I am notified by email when a new contribution comes. I go into the database through my web page. I see the contribution. I see, oh, Zaal has made a great one. There is nothing cautious. I integrate in the mind map. If I see something that is totally beside what we are doing here, speaking about the sexual life of the bees in Alaska, I will not put that into the mind map for sure. So, but here we are beautiful footage, people. So I have no doubt that you will send great contribution, but think when we will
Okay.
grow more. So that's that. Thank you.
Where do we find the form?
Yeah, maybe you could share the form in the chat, Patrick, and then
Yeah, so we can
Yeah,
fill
I-
that out for our contribution.
Okay,
And then-
I will share the link to the mind map.
sounds good. And also,
And when you are into the mind map, you find the branch to send. I am not even to give you the link to send through the form, because if you go into the mind map, you have the branch named add your link, and you click there, and there is a form coming, and you give your URL, your category that you want to see into the mind map, or an existing category that is already into the mind map. So one single link,
okay, sounds good.
fractal datacollector.html on fractalden.net/fractals. I publish all there. All my content is there.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Patrick.
So I give the mic now to, um, okay, I will not do so complicated. I will choose the guy that is beside me. Abraham! Or Braham.
All right. Yeah, there were Will there for the Braham is fitting, and then there was also at one point some kids, my friends in high school, called me Raw Ham.
Wow. When we do the video, we will choose this name. Perfect.
There's lots of options. Okay, so for me, I actually did have a pretty busy week outside of Optimism, but I did participate in the just kind of tracking what's going on with the when I was invited to be a random voter on the Respect RetroPGF 6. So I'm excited about that. And Zaal's in there too. And so yeah, I've been following that. And then I've also as I've been kind of flying back and forth from the East Coast to the West Coast, I've been doing a deep study of Dan Larimer's book, More Equal Animals. So I've kind of been trying to gather what pieces of that make sense to integrate in the future to this tool that I'm building. I also worked with Tadas on integration with fractalgrams. We've been trying to figure out how, the thing that he wrote and the thing that I wrote need to talk to each other. So we developed a couple options there, and I think we're pretty close to figuring out a solution, but it's there's a quick and simple way to do it, but it's not like sort of future proof. So we really kind of want to do something that's more robust, where you can folks can come in and stand it up themselves, and it's not a big hassle. So I've been kind of going back and forth with him and trying to suss out the details of that. And I also did integrate Chakra UI with the tool in a local branch, so that I can update the UI for Fractalgram to make it look consistent. And right now it's a little it's like unbranded, and it kind of needs a little bit more of a balanced approach. So I'm working on that. Haven't had any action on the OP, being an OP delegate, but I'm hoping that I can get in there and get into some more voting and stuff there. But yeah, that's about it for me.
All right, sounds great. Thank you very much, Bram. If there's anything else you want to add, then feel free. You still got some time. Otherwise, you can pass it on whenever you're ready.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and pass it on. Since I was talking about that retro voting, I'm gonna pass it over to Zaal.
Yeah, awesome. It's good to see everyone. I'm going to be sharing a lot of things today because last week I gave a verbal presentation, and we've been doing a lot of things. So essentially, we are officially have had 22 Zaal fractals. We just had our 22nd this week, which is super exciting. And we're trying to implement a bunch of different things. So one of the things that I'm doing is also implementing other forms of points in what we're doing for the Zaal. So one of the nice simple things to just get people involved is if they introduce themselves in the Discord, they get 10 points. And if they fill out the form, they get 5. Just an initial way to get them in the door. And maybe they don't have to necessarily come to the events to get started. Then in the last week, I don't know if you want to reset the timer, Dan, by the way.
I was trying to, but the
But
timer's not working. So
no worries.
just go ahead for
I'll
another
just
30
go.
minutes.
I'll just go quick. So essentially, we started a Charmverse after chatting more with Will T and my team, and found it to be honestly the perfect place for us to create our Zao hive mind. So we've called it the Zaoverse, or the Zverse, and we're really excited to be able to create a hive mind of people. We've created our community. We've got people that really want to get in line with the vision, and now we just need an opportunity for them to contribute and participate. So this is kind of the perfect thing for that. We have hidden everything currently other than the Zaoverse, and we want to have it so that it's not crazy overwhelming, and have it so that as people join, they can see the intro video, complete the intro video, get an NFT or an attestation or a hat from Hat's protocol, and then from that, when they claim the hat, more of the Charmverse, the Zaoverse will unlock. So essentially, based on if they're a musician, a visual artist, a community vendor involved with the live events, whatever hats they claim and what roles they have are the places they'll be able to see and contribute towards. So it's not crazy overwhelming, and there's not a million different things that aren't applicable to the correct people. And then on that line, we started ideating about our hats protocol tree. So as of right now, where we are, of course, this didn't do it right. And I still have to work out the kinks and learn a little bit more about what we're doing here at Optimism Fractal. But this top hat is supposed to be the Z Talent hat, which currently is owned by me. But I am going to, in the next few months, create a multi-signature wallet so that 2 other people are going to also be involved. So it's not just me. Under the top hat is going to be our autonomous AI agent. I still need to figure out more details on that and if how necessary that is, but it seems like to distribute out respect, that can be helpful. And our plan for the Zao is to ultimately build a bunch of brands, projects, and more underneath the Zao as a networking and resources community. So some of the different projects that we have. One is the Zao artist. So audio and visual will get split up into all of the people that do different things for both. We have our Zao fractals, of course, where we are giving hats for people who have Fractalgram certifications. And then also sometimes we have more than 6 people per Fractalgram certified person. So we just let an individual host those and split up the respect evenly, because there's no one that's certified to do a Fractalgram in that group. So that's the host role. And then we also have our Wave Wars project, which has a bunch of different roles, our Zaal Festivals project, which both of these events will actually be under Zaal Festivals. And then our newsletter. And then there's a lot more things that we want to implement and add in. And I think this hats protocol will be a really good way of defining everyone's roles. In other news, we updated our domain to thezao.com, which is super exciting for me. I've done a bunch of edits to our website as well to include stuff. We're actually probably going to be removing some of this stuff, and changing it and putting it all in the Charmverse and making the website super simple, super sleek, and pushing people to the Charmverse to create a member directory as well as create the hive mind that I was talking about before. Then I have my own Fractalgram presentation, and I'm just gonna real quick run through this because I would love if anyone has any suggestions. But it's what is the Zaal, our objectives, how the Zaal works, building loyalty tokens, and starting to talk about the respect game, what you're supposed to vote on for our respect game, and then token generation, other token generation opportunities. And then I've actually created an example of Fractalgram just because I've had a lot of challenges with people. So just like very simply, like super simply, every step you need to play the game, because I've found that there's been a lot of challenges with people from verbally to actually doing it themselves. So I've created this this presentation, just like Dan does at the beginning, to simplify a lot of the things. One of the other huge things we're working on is the Zaal event that we're hosting in Miami. So we've been working on this pitch deck and including a bunch of musicians, a bunch of visual artists, and a bunch of community vendors. So we actually have about 14 different community vendors that are all going to be helping us with the event and being involved. So I'm very excited about that. And then last but not least, we have been added officially to the Fractal Den mind map. So that's super exciting. Let's see. There it is right there. So yeah, that's mostly all from me. I mean, a lot of this stuff wasn't done in the last week and over the last couple of months because I haven't been here in a while. But it's always, like I said yesterday and last week, it's always great to be here, see some amazing faces, see some amazing builders, and hear what other people are doing. So thanks.
All right. Thank you very much, Zaal. Great to see you again. Thanks for all the amazing work that you've been doing. Really exciting to see the Zaal. I also want to give a quick welcome to Naked Wire as well. Thanks for joining. We're in the middle of the Respect game right now. We're on a very short deadline or timeline because we need to finish by the hour. But if you'd like to say a quick hello, then feel free. Otherwise, you're welcome to also listen in and as well, and hopefully you enjoy it. And Zaal, if you want to pick somebody to go next, then you can do so whenever you're ready.
Yeah, I'll shoot it over to Mr. Will T. How we doing, Will? I actually popped in a nice space this morning on my bus ride
I
in
know you
and
did.
got to
I
hear
know,
Will
and I
chat.
got to shout you out. I got to
I
shout
know,
you
I
out.
heard that. I
Nice.
heard that before I fell asleep on the bus. So.
Nice. All right, cool. Yeah, thanks for picking me. I appreciate it. Let me see here. Share this. Boom. All right, you guys are gonna be in for a treat on this. I did this last week.
All right.
Hopefully this works well. You see me? Boom, boom, boom. All right,
Yep,
let me cut
nicely
my
presented.
TG. Let me cut my TG here. Boom, boom, great. Okay. We're good? See everything? Everything's going good?
Yes.
All right. Set that beautiful timer for me, please, Dan. Thank you. I went through my calendar. These is the bulk of the work that I've been doing this last week. So, as part of the Gitcoin grant RFP that Let's Grow DAO was awarded, and just for the new entries, when I talk about Let's Grow DAO, when I talk about KF Media, those are direct contributions coming back into the Optimism community, because both those environments are built on Optimism. So, wrapped up the request for proposal on the onboarding and education program for Gitcoin. They put out an open call to the community. They wanted citizens or people who had experience being through various grant cycles to kind of come to the forefront, create a very robust onboarding and education program for other citizens or other grantees just coming into the ecosystem and learning about Gitcoin grants for the first time. So we put together this very beautiful landing page for that. We curated a lot of information from Gitcoin as well, including the link to Gitcoin's Discord, official news from Gitcoin, all the Gitcoin products boom all in one place. So you can learn about them there. You don't have to click through other things. This is the team that I got to co-lead. So, 6 amazing human beings, well, including myself, I guess. Enough about that. But then also co-leading with Avi, right? So basically, we formed as a group. We created beautiful content, but then we also got a chance to do our own special content and put our own spin on it. So this is like our official banner image for the program. This is a 80-minute masterclass that I hosted on Spaces actually last week on the value add of using things like Markdown and a specific Markdown platform. Also Karma for accountability reporting and milestone tracking. They even have a roadmap section now if you're interested. And then committing to the application stage there. And as Dan alluded to, I did submit some proposals in the Optopics space of Snapshot, just to bring awareness, but also so we can talk about these. And Dan and I kind of formulated a plan that these will be season 5 topics. But if you haven't seen the new cool integrations by IDRIS, one is a connectivity between X and Farcaster, and then the other one is a Web3 address book that has a direct tie-in to MetaMask, where you can create this address book by ENS domains, but you can also do it on social profiles. And so, yeah, it's pretty cool. we'll get more into that in season 5, I suppose. Additionally, Dan alluded to Let's Go Live has officially kicked off yesterday. So that is 24/7, 15-day X Spaces marathon that's community run to support the Gitcoin community. We like to highlight various projects and emphasize them. We do have a pretty defined schedule as far as hosting. So unfortunately, those opportunities have already closed. But you can always tune in, tap in, listen. If you feel you can add value to the conversation, just request to speak, come up in the space and add value. But mostly, it's just learning about the Regen network in the larger Ethereum ecosystem, right? But also some other cool tie-ins back to the Superchain. And then I suppose outside of that, I also did produce 2 new, and I know Zaal saw these. So 2 new master classes on DeFi Demystified masterclass series that we're doing. So we've got parts 3 and 4 out there. This will be a 7-part masterclass. So we alerted our community about these new masterclasses being added and the direct link to the Learning Center. And then anybody who's not in the community, they've got the opportunity to go collect one of our passports, which are across 6 different chains right now. Most of those are EVM or Superchain model. And then last but not least, I was nominated, applied, and got accepted as a Regen citizen in the Regen Citizen Round as part of Gitcoin Grants 22. The community that nominated me is not Let's Grow DAO, but it was an additional community that had a nomination. And then you can read all about my story, or I'll share the link in the chat. I didn't hear the timer, but it looks like I'm about 30 seconds over, so I'll stop there and flip it over to Dan.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you very much, Will. Yeah, I managed to turn off the timer volume, so sorry, Patrick and Zaal, for having that timer make sounds in the middle of it, and Zoom changed their thing, so it automatically happens now. But great to see all the work you're doing. That's really impressive. Congrats, Will, on all your achievements. I also want to just provide an opportunity. We haven't yet heard from Samuel, who's been here the whole time. So if you wanted to go before me, then you could go. I've already spoken a bit, so feel free to unmute and go ahead first if you'd like first, Samuel, or if not, I can go.
Okay, thank you for having me here. So I'm kind of new to everything here. I was invited by Samuel, the other Samuel Eric. So he told me about Optimism, and I was interested in building because of what Optimism offers. They offer something magnificent, like making it possible to go through multiple chains. So thank you very much for having me.
You're very welcome. Well, thanks for joining. Shout out to Eric, Samuel, for inviting you. That's much appreciated. We
Okay.
just pleasure to meet him recently. He's a really cool guy. If you'd like to, I don't know how new you are, and how much you've been involved with Optimism, but if you'd like, then you can take up to about 3 or 4 minutes more to further introduce yourself and further share your experience and your contributions to Optimism, however you've been helping Optimism. That would be very welcome. And I see it's all putting up the
Okay.
hearts.
Okay, I'm just new to it, so I'm looking forward to contributing to the community. So thank you.
Okay, that sounds good. Well, I'm looking forward to collaborating with you, and a special welcome to the Optimism Collective. There's a lot of amazing stuff going on here, so I hope you'll enjoy it and find a lot of value in it. And looking forward to seeing what we can help you build and all the cool stuff that we can help you do with Optimism.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. If there's anything else you want to say before you wrap it up, then feel free, but otherwise I can go next.
All right, you're free to go next.
Okay, sounds good. Also, so yeah, I'll go. We have 20 minutes left until the top of the hour, and we want to make sure we have time to reach consensus. I'd welcome Naked Wire before, but I also want to mention I'm looking forward to learning about you up to as well. So the offer's open if you want to say a quick hello now, Naked Wire, afterwards, and then if you're able to join more on time in the future, then you can participate in the respect game and earn respect too. So I encourage you to do so if you're able to. And I suppose I'll get into sharing my presentation to show what I did to help Optimism now and start a timer, but that offer's open for later if you'd like. So I'm going to share what I did to help Optimism over the past week as Dancing Joy. So a big part of this week for me has been this retro season initiative that we've been doing here at Optimism Fractal, and also the various events that Optimistics hosts, like Eden Fractal and Optimism Town Hall, have also been contributing to this retro season initiative. So this is the article I created last week that provides an overview of the retro season, the retro pitches, the retro polls, the retro report. So I've been kind of thinking a lot of the details behind the scenes about how to best make the retro polls work and the retro report, and then do various reaching out to different community members from Optimism Fractal and the broader collective to help promote this initiative and help make the 1 year anniversary of Optimism Fractal as special as possible. So I published this article that was also a promotional post explaining these 3 events that I hosted this week. And so yesterday I hosted an Eden Fractal event where we talked about Optimism Fractal's transformative first year, and also Eden Fractal's unique role in advancing fractal decision-making, fractal democracy throughout society, as well as on the Superchain. And then kind of explained how these events will go for today. And then I made a proposal to change to start Optimism Fractal's 5th season on November 21st too. So I kind of put this together just to give an overview of the initiatives for this week. As I said, there's that Eden Fractal event that I hosted. I provided some feedback on the beautiful artwork that Rosmari created. And I put together this article kind of providing an overview of topics that we discussed. The video will be coming out shortly. It goes over Optimism Fractal's impact. A lot of what I focused on over the past week was work on applications for retro funding and missions. So I'll get into that briefly. But I also made this topic proposal for Optimism Fractal retro pitches, retrospectives, and 1 year anniversary celebration that we'll get into for the town hall. So this is organizing the town hall event where we will have a celebration. Each person will get a chance to share their thoughts and retrospectives about Optimism Fractal. So put out that and wanted to make it look nice. And then on a related note, the missions that I've been working on. So I've been throughout most of this season of Optimism Governance, season 6, I've been working on missions related to Optimism Fractal, 2 of them for Eden Creators videos and Optimism Fractal respect games. I have this kind of curated pretty well, fairly well on optimistics.io/missions, where you can see all the past work with missions, working to empower the Optimism Fractal community and the processes that we're doing. And this week, I had a pretty detailed response to Jack Anorak about the Eden Creators videos mission about various different things. He was saying that there wasn't many views in the videos, and so I gave a more holistic impact and explained some of the various ways that these videos are helping the collective, and provided more details like qualitative metrics and so forth. So there's quite a bit there, and details that I had written there. And then one of the things that links to, actually, I don't know if it links directly to it right now, but I'll share it soon. I also responded to Katie and shared more details about some things that she was wondering about the ways to measure impact and so forth. And that's what I was going to show. These pages for Optimism Fractal Impact and optimistics.io/impact I put together to try to provide a cohesive and simple overview of how Optimism Fractal has impacted Optimism Fractal governance. So it goes over like the total amount of participation over the past year and explaining how that has translated to impact on Optimism governance, the software development fostered, the different applications that have been built by Optimism Fractal community members, the repositories, the content creation, all that stuff like that. So I worked on refining this for all 4 of the applications that I created for Optimistics tools, Optimism Fractal Respect games, and the Optimism Town Hall events and the Eden Fractal events. And also curated the Optimism Fractal feedback page more too, working on curating all the great feedback from Optimism Fractal. Still a work in progress as well here. So I don't actually see the timer. I don't know if I went over time now. The timer went away. So I guess I'll just wrap it up within the next 30 seconds or a minute or so. Those are some of the applications I made and did a lot of work on that. I also updated the Optimism Town Hall FAQ page. I think I made it pretty good. And then I put out a bunch of tweets and promotions as well to help promote the retro season events. So, and then the last thing I suppose I can add too is that I've been in contact with Tadas a lot too about this ORDAO proposal. So I'm working on scheduling a time or figuring out a way to help support him in integrating with ORDAO. And then I gave some comments and feedback to his proposal. So that's it for me. Thanks all for listening. And I see Naked Wire said, first time here. Nice meeting you all. Nice meeting you too. Hopefully you're enjoying the event. And if we have about 15 minutes left before the top of the hour when we want to wrap up by. So if anybody has any questions or comments, especially ones that would be particularly helpful for reaching consensus, then that would be now would be a good time to do it. And then either I suppose me or Abraham will open up the Respect Game Fractalgram app that Abraham has been building. Abraham, do you want to start that up or should I?
I can do it.
Okay.
All right. I just put the link in the chat.
Okay. Thank you very much. If everyone can please click that link and join the room, I suppose not everyone. I guess I don't know if there's a limit of 6 people like there's in Fractalgram.
No limit.
Is this the ORDAO game?
So this is a version of what we used to do in Telegram. So it kind of allows you to have an account, and then it tracks your wallet, and it helps you to vote. And then at the end, we haven't quite integrated with ORDAO to like submit on chain yet, but it'll list just like the previous tool did. It'll list out all of the different rankings, and then we just kind of paste them into that the tool that we had before.
Yeah, this is slick.
Yep.
Yeah, no, this is just the first time I'm using it, and I like it. I like it a lot.
Yeah, I'm hoping that we can
Because
get
I have 2 people.
I only
I
see
was
up
just
to
gonna say I
session
have 2 people
28.
without wallets, so this would be
Okay.
great.
Yeah, it assigns a wallet to them
Ram,
per like Google or whatever.
I only
Mhm.
see up through session 28 in here.
I see session.
Okay, I
Have you
haven't
not
created the
launched it
session
yet?
yet, so that would be
Okay,
why.
no
Yeah,
worries.
yeah.
Okay.
All right, so I've got to grab everybody's. Let me see if I can find everybody. We've got.
Cool. And yeah, to provide a bit
See
more
Dan.
context while you're getting that ready, Bram. Zaal, I believe by the beginning of next season, and I don't know what the timeline, but I think that's the goal. This will be integrated into the ORDAO smart contracts or with the ORDAO smart contracts. So ORDAO will serve the backend that's on chain, the EVM contracts, and then Fractalgram will serve as the front end that people can interact with, and then eventually they can be kind of built into like one more cohesive app over time.
Very cool. No, I like it a lot. I'm talking with Tadas right now about getting us also integrated with ORDAO. So this is like the perfect front end. Yeah, no, I'm excited. Thanks for making this, Abraham.
Quick
Yeah, you bet.
question too about the link you mentioned earlier, Dan, on respect.games. Is this ready to ship or this is just more informational?
Respect.games is live in beta testing right now. As far as I know,
Okay.
it's like pretty much fully functional. So it's very easy to go and create a community now. It's integrated with Privy, and then you can play the Respect game. So it might have some bugs here and there, but it is ready to play and try out with different communities though, and it works quite well.
Awesome. I'm going to bring this up in our next core meeting for Let's Grow DAO.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay,
Thanks for
I
bringing
created the session. It should show up on your, if you are in the play part of the menu, it should show up for you there as a link. But I also am putting the link in the chat in case for whatever reason it wouldn't show up.
Okay, I think everybody's here right now except for Samuel. So maybe I should mention that earlier, Samuel. But if you could click that link that Bram had just shared, that respectgame.versal.app link, and then if you have a wallet, like for example a MetaMask wallet, then you can sign in with that. Or I believe it's also now successfully hooked up with like Privy, so you can also sign in with a Gmail account or a Twitter account or a Warpcast account as well. So if you could please open that link and then sign in, then you'll be able to play the Respect game with us.
Okay, I've done that already.
Okay, I didn't see it in there, so let me go back and see if I can find you. I might have to create another session because I didn't. Okay, I see Samuel. Is it SOSARON at Gmail?
Yes, that's me.
Okay, I got you. Let me add you in here. So we got Samuel, Wilty, Dan, at me, and Zaal. That's everybody, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. Okay, cool. All right, I'm gonna start this session. Okay.
Thank you.
This should be 36. Sorry about the confusion there. Right?
No problem. So it means we will need to just go to 36 rather than 35.
Yeah, just go to
35. Okay, yeah.
Exactly.
Nah, this is very sleek. I like it a lot. I have a bunch of people like telling me that they don't have Telegram. So once we did it in Discord, and then everyone has issues with Telegram, and it's just a clusterfuck. But no, I like this having especially on the wallet side. I have 2 guys Like I might just try this out on Monday because I have one guy that I know is coming without a wallet. So it'll
Okay.
just be at least doable. And then it'll, so if they sign in with their Gmail account, does that create a wallet that they can sign in on any other thing that'll abstract it to with that email? Or is it only this specific?
I
Like,
think
how
it
do
has to
they get
do,
back into that wallet, if that makes sense?
it's directly linked to Privy. So Privy will be the custodial holder of that wallet.
Hmm.
So if they
Okay.
don't log in with
Bad.
Privy, I don't know how that like it transfers and stuff like
No,
that,
yeah, Privy's one
but
of the big
that's
ones too, I'm pretty sure.
it is.
So yeah, so
But
we'll
in order
probably
for you,
just integrate that as well on our end.
yeah, you'll want to. So what I can do is make you an administrator so you can actually create sessions. We don't have that open yet. So we're trying to integrate Has
Hmm.
protocol so that people can just
Very cool.
be the leader.
Yeah.
But I can pop you in there real quick. It'd be easy.
All right, very
All right.
cool. Yeah, this app is really nice. And I suppose we can start voting on level 6 now, right? Unless maybe or people have, I don't know.
Yeah, I haven't yet, but go ahead.
Okay, cool. I see. It looks like 5 people have voted so far. So yeah, everybody please, Samuel, in case you're not sure how it works, what we're doing now is we're ranking who you think did the most help optimism over the past week. So based on the presentations that everybody shared, who do you think did the most help optimism? That's what this is for. And then after this, then we'll rank who you think did the second most help optimism, the third most, and so forth.
Okay.
And right now what we have is we have 60% of the votes for Will and 40% of the votes for Zaal. And we need to reach at least 66% consensus. So I don't know if everybody's voted yet. I don't think so. Now it looks like 60% of the votes have changed to Zaal and 40% are for Will. If anybody has not yet voted, then please do so.
I'll add a feature where we can see how many people have voted, Dan. That's probably pretty easy to pop in there.
Okay, sounds good.
All right.
Thank you, Abraham. We have 6 minutes left to the top of the hour, so we should probably be pretty quick in reaching consensus, but we don't have consensus yet. Our consensus has gone down. We now have, now we have 67% for Will T.
Yes.
So,
Okay.
okay.
All right. I'm going to jump us ahead to the
Thank
next
you,
round.
thank you. I will gladly accept it. Thank you, everyone.
Congrats, Will.
Killing it, Will. We love it.
Okay.
All right. Should be seeing a level 5, and there's still a small bug about where some of your selections may be showing up again. Don't worry about that. Just select and it'll fix itself.
Okay, sounds good. So now we're gonna be ranking who you think did the second most of optimism this week, or yeah, basically this week. I suppose you could take in past things into account in some cases as well, but up to you. Right now we have 75% for Pat Novabad and 25% for Zaal. I don't know
And
how
if
many
it
people have voted
doesn't
though.
show consensus, that means that probably not enough people have voted
Okay.
yet. I kind of have it so it divides the total number of people by the votes.
Okay, right. So yeah, if anybody has not yet voted, then please do so. You can vote for whoever you want, who you think helped optimism the second most this week. And we're waiting for your votes because we cannot proceed really until we get people to vote here. So if it's a tough decision, then pick one. And we now have somebody voted for Abraham. He has 20%, Zaal has 20%, and Pat Novabad has 60%. If anyone wants to advocate either way, I'm voting for Zaal here in this case because I think what Zaal has done with the Zaal fractal is awesome. It's like he's getting a huge amount like a huge amount of engagement where musicians are playing the respect game, and he's like bringing the respect game to this cultural community. And I've had the pleasure to join some of the Zaal meetings in the past, and I know there's like a lot of really cool people there too. So I'm happy to vote otherwise too. But Zaal hasn't been here for a while, and he's been able to join some of the meetings like after the town hall or something like that. But I'd like to give some respect to Zaal for all of the great work he's done with his Zaal fractal. That's I know it's really a lot of work hosting like 20 plus fractal meetings. So
Yeah, I'll also advocate for Zaal. Just I think that there's the consistency is tough to do, but it's also like you can see there's a plan in place for the future. He's getting people on board, thinking through some of the ways to get people in. And I think that the impact on especially the creative community is going to be really big in the long run for this. So I'd go for Zaal.
Looks like we just reached consensus.
Yeah, it looks like people were not persuaded by our voting for Zaal because now and yeah, it says Pat Novabat has 80%, which I guess still just means that only 5 people voted. So it seems like one person still might not be voting, but yeah, it looks like there's consensus on Patrick though.
Okay, mine's going slow here. Give me a sec.
Okay,
Not sure why
who's
it's
also
not
been doing
updating.
great work too. Thank you, Patrick. I've been enjoying the interviews and all the great stuff you've been doing. That's a very impactful contribution as well.
Thank you. For the voting, we see the limitation with the voting. But that's depend how every community want to vote, by the way. Either you put your vote and you say nothing, and everyone do his choice, or during the vote you try to convince someone else to vote. That's another choice. We have made some experience with Daniel Larimer into Fractally meetings about that, stating that maybe you should not vote for yourself, you should not biasing the voting. So there are different experience. And the fractal text-based app by Vlad and Leonard is totally asynchronous. You vote maybe in different time zone, and then you do an average of all the votes. So that's maybe that's the point with these apps about the voting, to be the most objective, true, the most by stating that I am stating a lot of bullshit. So
That's
just.
well, you made some good points, but let's also try to. We only have 2 minutes left, so let's try to reach consensus.
But thank you for the voting, and I respect a lot Zaal also. I would have advocate for sure. But yeah.
Okay. Well, voting
So
for level 4 is now open. So if you have not yet voted, then please submit a vote for who you think did the third
And
most
now
of optimism this week.
I will be as everyone. I have voted for that.
Okay. And it looks like consensus has been reached for Zaal. And we can move on to level 3.
I vote for Abraham. Oh, why I say that? I should say nothing. Now everyone is biased. I have voted for Abraham, clear, because he's doing the app and great job on that.
Okay. We have 60% for Abraham and 40% for me right now.
Okay.
And I voted for myself because I really appreciate what Abraham's doing, but I've been working like I was up really late a few nights, but I'll switch to Abraham though too because that would help reach his consensus. Actually, that doesn't help reach his consensus. So, but now it did. So because Abraham said he's doing a lot of great stuff, so I appreciate it obviously. And we'll move on to level 2. And we have consensus for me for level 2. Thanks all for the respect. And now we will go, and that means that Samuel gets level 1. So we all successfully reached consensus by the top of the hour, and we all receive respect. What we'll have to do now is just post it on chain. Aaron, would you also mind doing that thing where you put that into the Fractalgram interface? And,
you bet.
Okay.
Do we know what meeting number we have? I think there was some confusion on that, but I'm not sure how to get that information.
We are in meeting number 47.
47.
Or no, I don't know if that's needed though. What you need is the room number, which is room number 2. Yeah.
Oh,
47.
Okay.
Yes, that's true. That's
One
true.
day we'll have 47 rooms, but not yet.
How do you know that, Dan? How did you get that information? Just out of curious.
It might just be me being the host, but for me, I think other people might be able to see it. I think there's a way, but well, you can see the top left corner. For me, it says meeting room 2, and then also if I click a button, then I can see it. Does it show?
Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
Okay, I see it. I just missed it. Thanks.
Okay.
I was looking at it for that last time. I was like, where? All right, here we go. So I'm gonna share this out. Here comes the link in the Zoom chat, and then you'll need to click on that link, and that will allow you to actually vote on chain.
Okay.
Okay.
And for me, I end up having to open it in my wallet on my phone because it'll give me a hard time on the desktop if I try to hit that thing. But for
Okay.
others, it may work differently.
Sounds good. Well, thank you very much, Abraham. Everybody, please submit that transaction on chain within the next hour so that we can smoothly distribute the respect. And thanks all for the awesome contributions and the respect game. It was really fun. Hope everybody enjoyed it. Really appreciate it. And we can head back to the community room now.
Be happy when you get it fully integrated, Bram.
Yeah, I'm getting there. It's just it's tough
Yeah.
finding time. But
No, I
it'll
get you.
come. It probably before the next season is what I'm aiming for. Yeah.
Cool. That's really slick. I like it.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Yeah, it's been fun. The other thing that's nice about it is that it's really hard to tamper with because I've done a lot of security stuff on it. So like if we actually wanted to use it for something serious,
Oh, so
it
like,
will be okay
what
with
are
that.
you using for Sybil resistance?
I don't have a rate limiter on it yet. But
Okay.
it probably could, that's coming. But this is more like you can't spoof IDs and you can't fake votes and you
Right.
can't grab people's user information, stuff like that.
Oh, cool.
Yep. And there's also the Sybil resistance measures that come from like the meetings, for example, and also the on-chain attestations and so forth. But yeah, shout out to the app, worked very well. Welcome everybody to, well, shout out to Abraham for building that, not shout out to the app. But welcome everybody to the community room. We're about to embark on the town hall. Thank you everybody for being here. Hope that everybody had a great time in their set game. If anyone wants to share any quick thoughts, then feel free. But otherwise, we can head into the festivities for the Optimism Town Hall, where we'll be celebrating the 1 year anniversary of Optimism Fractal with these retro pitches and retrospectives. If I also want to welcome Keen as well too. I don't believe we've met, but I hope that you enjoyed your respect game. If you wanted to say a quick hello, then feel free. And if not, if you want to just listen, then that is all good as well. How was the breakout room, Rosmari? Was it good?
It was good, but we still haven't reached consensus on any of the levels yet because I set up the room for using their spay game app built by Abraham, but for example, Howard couldn't see the session, and then I set up another room group in Telegram, and then now I'm waiting for Kenny to join so I can generate the prompt for the account to start the
Okay.
voting. But I did explain the rules, so as long as Kenny joins, then we can kind of proceed with the voting.
Okay,
Yes,
sounds good.
Kenny?
If it would be helpful, I can reopen the breakout rooms, and you can all go discuss it there as well. Sorry for closing the breakout rooms on you. I see Kenny Rakane raise their hand, so if you want to respond to that, you can, Kenny.
Kenny.
Okay.
Yep.
Thanks, Hodlon.
I can't see the Telegram any longer. Please, could you resend?
The link to the Telegram chat?
Yes.
Yes, sure. I will do that.
Okay.
And no, it's okay.
You want to just reach consensus in like the app while we are doing the town hall instead of going back to the breakout room?
Yes.
Okay. Sounds good. Well,
at least that's what I think.
Okay.
If others want something different, then let me know.
Okay, sounds good. Well, if anyone from the room wants to go back to the breakout room, then I suppose feel free to let that be known now. And then Rosmari, of course, you have the hosting permissions too. So if it's helpful, then you can always start at the breakout room or whatever as well if you change your mind. And with that, we're already 7 minutes past top of the hour. So thank you everybody for the patience in dealing with the technical issues. Hope that everybody has enjoyed or is enjoying their current respect game. And I will get into a little presentation to kick off the town hall, and then we'll have our anniversary festivities as planned. So, welcome everybody to Optimism Town Hall. Optimism Town Hall is a collaborative forum dedicated to conversations about the Superchain, featuring innovative community agenda games where participants choose the topics. We're closing in on the end of the second season of Optimism Town Hall and provides a special place to learn about latest developments on optimism, help lead the collective, and explore opportunities in the on-chain economy. And each event, we play a agendas game where anybody who's earned respect can propose, vote, and choose topics with on-chain reputation tokens, which provides a fun and fair way to participate in discussions. So everybody's welcome to join these events on Thursdays at 18 UTC and invite friends. These videos are also produced, and we love to meet more people at the events. There's an FAQ on the page where it shows how do we choose topics and how these different agenda games work. So you can learn that. It's kind of in process too. This website's new, but it provides details for learning how it works. And this agendas game, basically the core process by which it works is that whoever proposes a topic on the Optimum Town Hall snapshot space, people can propose topics there and then vote on topics there, and then whichever topic has the most votes with the Optimism Fractal Respect token at 17 UTC on Mondays will be the topic that we discussed. We're also working on integrating ways for more reputation tokens in the Superchain as well, which we actually have some exciting news coming up about soon. But that's the way it currently works. You're welcome to register for these events at lou.mosh/optimistics, where you can also register for the Optimism Fractal event an hour earlier to play the respect game and earn respect. So yeah, everyone's invited to join. Really excited to celebrate our 1-year anniversary and retro season initiatives. Hope that everybody had a great time at the Optimism Fractal Respect game. And thanks everybody so much for the past year. It's been an amazing time that we've spent here. You can see all the videos from Optimism Town Hall, which are currently at the second half of Optimism Fractal videos on optimismtownhall.com. And you can see our last episode where we discussed introducing retro season. We kind of went over like some ideas for how we can make the most of Optimism Retro Funding Round 6, which is currently going on to reward governance, public goods creators in the Optimism Collective. And we went through an article that created Optimistic Style/Retro Season, which announces several initiatives. So I'll give a brief preview or overview of that, and we can get into the festivities for today that we'll mostly focus on. You can watch all the videos on the Eden Creators YouTube channel. And for today's agenda, the topic that received the most votes is the Optimism Fractal RetroPitches, retrospectives, and the 1-year anniversary celebration. So there's also a couple other topics too. Shout out to Will for creating topics about the Web3 address book by Idris, a new address book that allows people to use Farcaster, Lens, ENS domains, and several others in MetaMask. And he also wrote another topic for an Idris integration between X and Farcaster profiles. He shared some links to this in the snapshot space. Those ones didn't receive the most votes, but we're looking forward to seeing Will present these in a future week and appreciate the making of these topics. So looking forward to learning more about these. The topic that received the most votes is this about the Optimism Fractal retro pitches and retrospectives. So really appreciate everybody's feedback on the retro season initiatives last week, and appreciate everybody's participation there. And for anybody who missed it, there's the article and the video from last week's town hall where you can learn more about it. And basically today we're going to be doing this Optimism Fractal retro pitches/retrospectives, where each person will get a chance on the stage, say maybe 3 minutes or 5 minutes or so. We'll figure out the right amount of time depending on how much time we have. We might go for the full hour if needed, instead of the scheduled half hour. But we can also just figure out what time makes the most sense. And everybody will get a chance to share how they feel about Optimism Fractal, how they've contributed over the past year, how it's been their experience with Optimism Fractal, how Optimism Fractal has helped you over the past year. Very excited to hear your thoughts and celebrate this 1-year anniversary with you. So that's kind of like the overview of it. We're going to basically be celebrating our individual contributions to optimism while also capturing the collective impact and evolution of the Optimism Fractal community since its inception. That's a difficult one to say. At Eden Fractal event yesterday, we also provided like kind of an overview of Optimism Fractal's holistic accomplishments too, so that will be coming soon. But yeah, encourage everybody to share thoughtful reflections on how Optimism Fractal has affected you and how you basically had experience with Optimism Fractal over the past year, whether you just started to join recently today or whether you've been joining for a few months or since the beginning. really excited to hear your thoughts. And once again, just want to express my gratitude for everybody's contributions over the past year. It wouldn't be possible without you all. Everything that's been possible with Optimism Fractal over the past year, we made a huge amount of progress, and I'm really excited about everything that we've done so far to achieve our core intents, fostering collaboration, awarding public goods creators, and optimizing governance on the Superchain. And I believe it's just the start of a really amazing journey that we're on to. So here's to an amazing retro season that we'll celebrate together, and hope that everybody enjoys the events today. So we'll pass it over after this brief presentation. Anybody can go. Maybe we'll raise hands, or people can just let us know who wants to go first. There's some details on Twitter and X and Farcast, so we appreciate if you retweet and stuff like that. We also have some plans in this retro season article. We're going to try to do, well, first, if I can mention again, we're planning to do a retro pitches at the Optimism Town Hall next week for assessing and allowing people who are applicants in retro funding round 6 to pitch their projects and how they've contributed to Optimism Collective governance in round 6 and over the past year. So that'll be coming up for next week, but this one will be particularly focused on Optimism Fractal. And we're going to experiment with some retro polls ideas too, where like we can use polls, on-chain polls, to rank contributions and stuff like that to help evaluate impact. All sorts of ideas that you can learn about in this article here. But for now, we can keep it simple and just hear everybody's retro pitches, and then more details will be coming out about these other initiatives for retro season on the Optimism Fractal Discord, on the Twitter from Optimistics, and so forth. So I think that's it for this presentation. So thanks all for listening, and I'm very excited to hear your retrospectives and retro pitches as we conclude our first year. And also, happy anniversary too. I see Pat Novabad raise his hand. So we do have, what is it? We have 13 people here, so forth. So, and we have 45 minutes remain till the top of the hour. So I suppose we should probably try to limit the time for each presentation to somewhere around 3 minutes, just to make sure we have time for everybody to present. And I see, I think probably a good way to do it is if you want to go next, then you can raise your hand. And that way we can have like an orderly way to do it as well. So I see Pat Novabat raise his hand first. So I suppose first, if there are any questions or comments about how the structure works, then we can field any questions and provide any clarification if anybody's not sure how it goes. And then we can jump into the actual retro pitches and retrospectives about Optimism Fractal. So first, Patrick, or does anybody else have questions about how the event structure will work?
I think providing like a brief overview on what the request is, like what are we doing for the retro pitches, that would be probably helpful for people who haven't seen the tweet or the article yet.
Sure. Thank you, Rosmari. So for each retrospective / retro pitch, we ask that you please share your experiences and contributions, your experiences with Optimism Fractal and your contributions to Optimism Fractal. So that can also include contributions to the wider Optimism Collective as well. But we'd love to hear your experience with Optimism Fractal, maybe a bit about when you joined, how it's been valuable for you, and why you've joined. Basically your experience about it in general, that kind of retrospective, as well as we're experimenting with this little kind of thing like retro pitches, where you can also share how you contribute to Optimism Fractal. So that could be helpful potentially if we want to like kind of summarize what we've done for Optimism Fractal over the past year as well, or for however long you've been contributing to. So we're experimenting with a new thing right here. So maybe it's a bit confusing to do both the retrospectives and the retro pitches at the same time. So feel free to interpret it as you like, but that's the goal, and that's the intention, to share a bit about just your general experience with Optimism Fractal, and then how you've contributed to Optimism Fractal and the wider Optimism Collective over the past year. Does that clarify it, Rosmari, or do you want to add anything? I know that you've also thought about this a lot too, so feel free if there's anything I missed to add to it.
Okay.
Okay, sounds good.
Thanks.
You're welcome, and thanks for asking for the clarification. I appreciate it. My apologies. I've been working on this hard too, so there's a lot of new stuff, so I might not have mentioned that all originally, but hopefully it all makes sense to everybody here. If anybody had any other questions, then feel free. Otherwise, I think we can pass it over to Patrick. So feel free to raise your hand with any questions, or also share in the chat too, and we can address it throughout. And Patrick, would you like to speak?
Yeah. So I joined Optimism Fractal at episode 41, and I was very involved into Hidden Fractal. So I was watching all the interviews, all what you are doing. following from upscale fractal, that is another fractal. Some slightly same goals as here, bottom-up approach, fractal approach, and respect game into upscale. And basically what I was doing when I was joining the Optimism Fractal 41, I was beginning by promoting the respect game by Vlad and Lenar. I made an interview with them, with Vlad, and I was publishing the interview on X, and you retweeted yourself, Dan, and others here for Optimism, because there are some links with that. Then I was beginning to interview Will, Kingfisher's Media. I have also interviewed Jacob Omanix, shout out to him, that is not there today. And I was also interviewing ATS Protocol, David Ehrlichman, that was here doing a deep dive. And basically now what I am doing is to share all the data into a fractal data collector. And for that, you have the link into the Zoom chat. It's exactly that. It's a mind map to basically to unify the data into this mind map. There will be also a graph with this mind map and a cockpit. But I begin with the mind map because that's where you have the branch. You have Optimism Fractal on the left. You have a Zaal Fractal recently by Zaal. I will all mapping out here, engagement.vision, where you can also check how you have engaged with Optimism Fractal, how you have engaged on other blockchain L2s like Base or even Ethereum, and see how Vitalik Buterin is so powerful there. So I want to map out a maximum. There are the interviews. There will be the MP3s, because for each interview, there will be always an MP3. So basically what I am here, it's because I want to collect all this data, give a good visibility for Optimism Fractal and for the fractals in general, and be very synthetic and straight to the point without waste too much time, and be very basically crystal clear. That's what I expect also for this coming season for Optimism Fractal. And for the RetroPGF, there are some experience with the last interview with Pavel Fedotov that was already on RetroPGF season 3, and he has explained how he think that RetroPGF is great. He has also made some good contribution for Gitcoin. So I'm very happy to share more with Abraham also on November 11/11. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much, Pat Nobat. It's been a great pleasure collaborating with you, and a great way to kick us off here. Abraham is going next, or Abraham, as he's now called. If anybody, I wanted to also mention, if anybody does need to go, say in the next 10 minutes, something like that, if anybody has a hard stop, then please feel free to raise your hand to go next to. We want to make sure that everybody gets a chance to speak. So with that, we'll pass it on to Abraham.
Yeah, thanks. I just wanted to kind of share some of the, I mean, not so much my contributions, but just what I've kind of gained interpersonally and in a sort of a blockchain education sense from this group. It's been really great. I mean, I feel really comfortable with everybody here. The game is such that I think over time you really do build rapport with people, and we kind of do develop respect for each other through learning about our struggles and our accomplishments and all that. So, I mean, I love that part of this game. It definitely is an innovative way of community building, and it has definitely helped me to dig into fractal governance, which I wasn't really that aware of before. So when I first got into this, I saw Rosmari's beautiful artwork, and I saw all of the cool things that were going on, and I joined once, and I was like, wow, this is really, it's like positive, it's fun, but we're actually also accomplishing something that is really tangible and has real world value. So, I was and through that, I was inspired to become an OP delegate. I learned about, stuff like Gitcoin, Snapshot, Notion, all these tools that help to build governance. And I also was kind of inspired to go to the ETH Denver conference, which was, kind of expensive to get there, but I got to meet Dan in person, which was really cool. I got to meet Hodlon in person. And I met some other great developers like Howard. And just to start to become more of a part of the blockchain community, because I feel like it's a really good fit between, the technology on one hand that is like helping to make the world a better place, but also there's people who are really into creativity, individuality, and just kind of really community building around a common goal. So my contributions, I got into creating this Fractalgram app. We were using the Telegram app, and it's cool. And the interface is actually not that bad. It's doing a very complex thing that seems fairly simple, but you're like ranking votes in real time and stuff. So I thought, well, I can take a crack at trying to create a better version of this that's more like a web app. And so I've been working pretty hard on that. I did I did a deep analysis on the existing app. I did the database design. I did the API design, incorporated a bunch of security into it so that it can be used on a more like a bigger organization level. And the front end design definitely needs to go further, but it's working now, and I'm excited about trying to make it better and make it easier to use. We got the ability to log in with Google and stuff like that. So lots of cool stuff coming. It's been a great experience. So love you all, and thanks.
All right. Thank you, Abraham. Much love to you too. And I see Samuel and Zaal putting up the hearts too. It's been a super cool meeting you in Denver and super cool collaborating with you all this time. So thank you so much. Hodlon also put up the heart too. Patrick put up the heart too. Lots of hearts, lots of hearts. All right. Well, glad to hear this has been a really fun anniversary so far. Samuel putting up the hearts too. We got hearts all over here. If somebody wants to go next, then I suppose nobody's got their hand raised right now, so somebody can just unmute and go. Abraham, if you wanted to also pick somebody to go next, and I suppose you could do that as well.
I see Will's got his hand up. I got to drop, so I apologize. I've got a work meeting that I got to go to, but hopefully I can watch the recording. So Will, let's roll that beautiful retro.
Roll the beautiful retro footage. I love it. All right.
Yeah, man.
Cool.
Thanks, Abraham. Have a great day.
Okay, I don't know how much of a pitch this is going to be, just more of a share session, storytelling, if you will. So I came into the Eden / OP Fractal community around season 3 of OP Fractal, I believe, like the middle of season 3. So I've been here for one full season now. I might have missed a couple of events because I've had other things going on. But yeah, originally I was participating in both events. I had to make a choice, kind of pick my lane as a founder because work got really busy in that direction. So this is where I landed, and I love it here. It's a great community. As Pat alluded to, I did recently interview with Pat on his podcast so he could understand more about KF Media, which is the company that I founded. I also am one of 9 co-founders of the Let's Grow DAO. We were a co-winner with Optimism Fractal. So for me, I'm wearing hats in both communities of the first official Hatathon hosted by Hats Protocol, right? So win, win, win all the way around, especially for me. Woo! You should see my hat tree. It's pretty extensive. But with that being said, no, I really enjoy this community. I love the vibes. I love how everybody has an opportunity to not only share their work, but they get an opportunity to have a voice in this community. Dan always does great presentations, encouraging community members inside of here to be more engaged and interactive with the presentations. I really love that. And, it's amazing. Learning about the Fractalgram app and reading through all that documentation was a true treat, but it looks like that may not be necessary anymore with all the great development in here as products are getting close to shipping with Fractalgram. So I'm excited to take that back to my other communities and see what kind of resonance we can get with that. I'm not going to take up the full time, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just here for the vibe. I'm here for the respect, and let's grow.
All right, let's grow. Thank you, Will. Great retrospective. Huge shout out to what you've been doing. Huge pleasure collaborating with you. And great speech. I'm seeing lots of claps, lots of whatever this is called over here too. Lots of excitement. So, Will, if there's any last thing you
Oh,
want
those
to
are
add,
snaps. Those are
snaps.
snaps.
Okay, there we go.
So yeah, tap into the artisan community. You'll get snaps. If you get a lot of snaps, you're doing good.
Okay, cool. You got a lot of snaps. You're doing great, Will. You still have a little bit of time if you want to
Thank
add
you.
anything else, or if not, if you want to pick somebody to
No,
go next.
no,
Okay.
no. I'm going to pick on Rosmari.
Yeah.
Rosie looks very happy that you picked her.
Oh, okay. Me? Me, yeah.
Yes, you.
Okay.
Is it the other
Yes,
Rosmari?
Rosmari.
Okay. Thanks. Thank you, Will. Great to hear from you. Okay, I'll go. I have not prepared. I don't know. I just put a note here, having a voice and optimism. Okay, that will just inspire me. Thank you everyone for being here. Yeah, it's a journey for sure, and we started a year ago. I don't know how to feel about this. Maybe it's okay. It's normal. And I don't know how many more years are there to come, but yeah, when I promote the events, every time by the time the Thursday comes, I'm like exhausted. I'm like, I just want to rest. I've been promoting these events and all those things like writing and I don't know, all the kind of things to prepare for the events. But then when the events come and I see people joining, that's really what this about. What is it about? It's this 1 hour and a half that I'm putting all my hours towards in a way, which is it's like ridiculous, but also interesting, and it's also great how it unfolded and how many things came out from it. Like the tools, the community, the feedback, the moments together, and the work also that we're sharing with each other. And I really am appreciative of everything that this is. I'm not crying. And thank you everyone for listening to me. I hope it all goes well. Thanks.
All right.
Now that Dan was laughing a lot, I'm choosing Dan to go next.
Oh, okay. Now you're gonna. Oh, I see. Zaal raised his hand actually, though. So it seems like maybe Zaal wants to go
No,
next.
I'm going to referee this. She chose you before Zaal raised his hand, so Zaal can go after you.
Oh, I got repped. Okay, well, technically it's still
We need to
Rosemary's
put it to
call.
consensus. We need to put it to consensus. We will.
Maybe we should put up a proposal for the Optimism Fractal Council to determine
I
who
mean,
goes
if
next.
Zaal wants to go, he can go. It's okay. But yes.
Yes.
I'll be very, very quick, and Dan can be saved by the bell.
Take your time.
You
But
guys
yeah.
let him off the hook too easy.
Yeah. No worries. He'll have to go next. What's up, everyone? I'm Zaal. For the people that don't know me, I am super, super blessed to have the person that invited me here in this call, Mr. Hodlon. I didn't know what this would be like. He invited me to a community. I think it was the fourth or the fifth week of Optimism Fractal, and initially I was hesitant, as most people are, to talk in their first meeting. But then I realized the power of what that brings, and the space as of right now doesn't have something like that where, you know, you join your first meeting and you're put on the spot to share a little bit about yourself. And I think that lends to a lot more interesting discussions and better discussions. And I really like how you've created this ethos of keeping your camera on screen, keeping your camera on during the meeting, because that definitely helps a lot of the connectability. And I am still challenged with that, even though I reward people, they still don't use the video. So I think you've done a very good job cultivating that culture. And it's just awesome to be here. I love every minute of it. And after seeing how amazing of a technology and community it is, I decided to be able to take some of that and bring it into our community and have us iterating on it as well. So I appreciate it, guys. I love Patrick's new to me in the last like 3 weeks, but you know, you're my favorite right now because your energy and your I don't know, just love of the game and vibes are up there. So I love it. I appreciate you. I appreciate everyone here, and especially Hodlon for inviting me here because I wouldn't have been here if he didn't shoot me over that invite that one fateful day. So thank you.
Thank you, Zaal.
Thank you very much, Zaal. Great retrospective there. Love to hear it. It's been amazing collaborating with you, and a special huge thanks to Hodlon too. Hodlon changing the course of history by inviting Zaal to the Optimism Fractal. And it's been so many cool things that have happened since. If there's anything else you wanted to add, Zaal, you still had some more time. If not, you can pick somebody else. And there's lots of people on the call that you
Nah,
can pick next year.
I think you can't skate out of this. So I think you're next, and I appreciate the time, effort, and energy, Dan. You're amazing.
Thank you, Zaal. I appreciate all the kind words that you shared, as well as several other people shared kind words mentioning my name too. So I appreciate that, and it's my pleasure to serve. It's my pleasure that it's a huge pleasure that so many people have expressed us kind words here enjoying the events. I suppose I'll turn the timer on too. I also like Rosmari didn't have anything prepared here. So we'll see. Sometimes I give presentations, as you know. I don't know if you've seen I give presentations sometimes, but yeah, I'll just wing it here, as it looks like Patrick is sneaking away there. But anyway, yeah, I want to express appreciation. That's I guess what I want to do here. So hearing what's all said right there and seeing Zaal start the Zaal Fractal and bringing this to musicians, we were talking about that in our respect game, and enjoy it so much, enjoy the experiences, and share these processes with others too. Share these processes that others can share with others too. It's a Optimism Fractal. It can work in a fractal way. It can grow. That's what we're aiming to do, so that all the people around the world can benefit from this, so that all people around the Superchain can benefit from this, and the Superchain can grow and benefit people in all the different ways that optimism can help people create a more equitable internet, create the optimistic vision. I'm going to just mute Patrick here. He's crying pretty loudly, but thank you though. I'm glad that you're enjoying it. Tears of joy, because yeah, we're at a special time here. We're at our 1 year anniversary. So as Rosmari said, it's a lot of work. So especially me and Rosmari, we're constantly we do one event and then we're like, whew, and then we have another event planned, and we also have the Eden Fractal that we've been doing for 3 years, or almost 3 years now, in varying degrees. And all this stuff that we've been building has been, building it from scratch. Like, this idea of the respect game didn't exist over a year ago. The tools didn't exist. Huge shout out and thanks to Abraham and to Zaal, or well, shout out to Zaal, but I didn't mean to say Zaal there. I meant to say Tadas and Vlad and Lenar and Howard and Jacob and all the people who have contributed to technical development for Optimism Fractal too. So the software came from nowhere. The idea came from just a scratch of an idea to now we have like a real thing going. We have a community that's emerged and rallied around the idea. Thanks to Hodlon too for inviting Zaal in the 4th episode ever, because we had our first episode back on October 20th, 2023. It was just Optimistics team, just 4 people, and we didn't know if people would join. So the fact that people have joined and that people have gotten so much value out of Optimism Fractal over the past year, and the fact that we've made so much progress together. I was recently curating like this impact article to show like the numbers of how many people have joined and what people have contributed, and providing qualitative feedback and what people have built from it. So yeah, but the actual like feeling that we get from everybody enjoying the event so much, and the qualitative effects that you could see of things that have outputted, and the stage that we're on right now, the place that we're going to, and the foundations that have been laid to share these respectful processes, these on-chain social games around the world, help grow the super chain. So yeah, I'd like to thank everybody for an amazing past year, and thrilled to be embarking on the next year of Optimism Fractal with y'all, and soon to come season 5. So thank you all. Thank you very much. And thank you, Will, too. I see Will turned his camera on there, too. Will gave an amazing speech. There's been amazing speeches so far from everybody who's given a
Oh,
presentation.
stop it. Please, come on. It wasn't that amazing, was it?
It was amazing. Yes, it was amazing. So was Patrick's. Everybody's pitch has been amazing here, too. So with that, I'd be happy to pass it on to the next person. I see Zaal has his hands up. I don't know if that was from before. Zaal, did you have your hand up the whole time, or do you want to say something
Yeah,
right
that's
now?
from before. He never lowered his hand after he was
Okay.
done talking.
Zaal's just pumped. Zaal's like, let's go, let's go, let's go. I'm raising it up. So, would anybody like
If
to
you
go
want to see
next? Or I
Pop,
can pick somebody to go next. What's that? You want to see Pop? Okay,
you
Will's
want to
having
see
fun
Pop?
here.
Let's raise the roof.
Maybe a little
Let's do
dance
some
party here
shaking.
for
Let's
mixing
do a
up for the
little
1 year
dance.
anniversary here. Move around a little bit. Yeah, it's good to move around after you had an hour-long call. So, would anybody like to go next? I see we have Eric on the call. We have Naked Wire, who hasn't yet introduced himself. We have Hodlon. Hodlon's name has come up a few times too. I know Hodlon said his audio was messing up before, so if you'd like
No, I
to
fixed
speak.
it.
Okay, great.
I can
Okay,
go now.
great. Sounds good.
Sure. Yeah. Like the rest of you, nothing prepared, but yeah, I had an opportunity today to jump back in and didn't realize this was the 1 year, and it's super great to be I think I was the first one to join that wasn't a part of the core team. I found your post. I came across your post on the Optimism forum randomly and decided to join. I think on the second one. And yeah, I have great. I've drawn a lot of. I've had some weeks and some months where I've been able to be very active, and then some months where I've been busier with my work and life and haven't been able to. But it's always really nice to be able to like today, just pop back in, see familiar faces and see new faces, and kind of just know and understand and see this community continuing on and continuing that momentum. And it's kind of like, all right, I'm ready to pop back in and play the game and see what's going on. And you all are continuing to carry that torch. Is really, really cool to see. Really cool to see the development of Auric and the app, like the front end app. I think that's really cool, very needed. Yeah, really happy to see those developments. And yeah, just general inspiration that I've pulled out of being in these calls and being a part of the community, for the ways that I'm inspired to contribute here, and in the ways that it kind of I'm drawing inspiration, in other projects and other parts of the ecosystem as well, and kind of weaving those together. But it's really inspiring to see, Dan, Rosmari, Tadas, Vlad, all kind of showing up every single week, and just like the consistency and the passion that you all bring is also very inspiring, and like is the reason why this is still happening and we're still doing this. Kind of that the driving force behind everything. It's really, really great to be a part of, and I'm very happy to be a contributor here.
All right. Thank you so much, Hatathon. I'm really happy to be contributing along with you too. And huge thanks for you joining back in the beginning in the second Optimism Fractal meeting and being with us here today. We haven't seen you in at least a couple months, so it's great that you're able to make it back. And also, I suppose I want to add a quick thing too, is we're also meeting you in Denver too, and that's one thing I want to add too. Just even though it's on Hubot's time, it's super cool, like the relationships that have been formed here too, like the friendships and getting to know people like Hodlon and like everybody else too. So I really appreciate that, Hodlon, and I really appreciate how you've spread the word about it too, and you've been implementing or thinking about implementing the respect game in different places too. So I see you're unmuted again, so feel free to add anything else
No,
there
that
if you
was
want to.
no, just that was at the Hats. It was a Hats protocol meetup in ETH Denver, which was a lot of fun. To go to that and then to meet you there. But yes.
Yep, absolutely. and then we went to several other places and hang out with Abraham and I met Jacob there too. That was a great event. So thank you, Hodlon, very much. I see Will raise his hand. So Will, is there something you want to say here?
I say if anybody are planning on coming back to ETH Denver 2025, tap in with your man here. I live here. It's my backyard blockchain event. One of the services I provide to my friends and family, and I consider you guys family, is complimentary airport transportation from the airport to your hotel or Airbnb. So just let me know how I can support you.
Thank you very much, Will. That's very kind of you. I look forward to taking you up on that offer and getting a ride. I'm aiming to join Denver next year, and I hope that more people in the community will be able to join too. Maybe we could do some special Optimism Fractal meetup and play an in-person respect game when we're there. So
now you really got my attention. In-person respect game. Let's go.
Let's
Yes.
go. Let's go. Let's do it. Yep. And the new apps too, they could be used for in-person respect games too. So we're just scratching the surface about what respect games will be and can be. So you heard it here first, folks. In-game respect game at ETH Denver coming up soon. Hatathon, if there's anything else you want to say, then feel free. Otherwise, if you wanted to pick somebody to go next, or if anybody wanted to jump in, we still haven't heard from Eric, Naked Wire, Eric, Tammy, and Samuel.
But Samuel, Eric.
Okay, hello everyone. I'll say my journey here has been a bit fascinating and amazing because I would have not known about this wonderful project without the whole being in contact or like getting to meet Rosmari from Twitter. Prior to that, I was just an optimism contributor. I loved the whole movement of optimism. I like the idea of the super chain of bringing all the chains together, probably built under OpenStack, or probably having other chains that liked the idea coming together to work as one. So I like the whole idea because it will solve fragmentation and it will bring about the super chain interoperability. And it's something I am really very, very enthusiastic about. And I really love the whole concept of it. So in the process, I got to meet Rosmari and she brought me on and told me about Optimism Fractals. And I bought into the idea. I was hoping to come to the first meeting. I came in and the atmosphere, the environment generally was breathtaking, sorry. And I actually enjoyed the first meeting together here. I got to meet Dan, Patrick, and a couple of other people. I felt really, really happy and motivated to join the movement and try to grow the community and the project together. Prior to that, I've been equally into optimism very, very well. I'm currently among the guest voters, among the super chain cohorts students equally. Of course, I'm been contributing in the Discord. I'm a wannabe governor at the moment. Been trying to one way or the other to see that I can equally put out content about optimism generally and about optimism fractals. So far, I've just been enjoying the journey. And it's been really, really interesting. It's been something I've loved to do, and I'm trying to do it more better than I'm doing it currently. I'm trying to put in more than what I'm actually doing, and I'm trying to make sure that anything I touch, I leave a good mark on it. So it's actually amazing to be here. I want to thank everyone, and I want to specifically thank Rosmari. Thank you so much, and thank you to the team too. I just hope we can do more moving forward.
All right. Thank you very much, Eric. Great speech there. It's been awesome meeting you and collaborating with you over the past week, and I'm really glad that you've enjoyed it so much. That's awesome to hear. Also, really appreciate this past week too. You put out a thread on X as well, giving people a breakdown of Optimism Fractal 2. So appreciate you helping to spread the word. We got some snaps going here and lots of claps and stuff. So thank you for the speech and looking forward to collaborating with you, Eric, or looking forward to further collaborating, I should say.
Me too. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
and for inviting Kenny, and I think Samuel too.
Yes. Yeah, a special shout out. We met Samuel today in our respect game, who was invited by Eric. So thank you for inviting Samuel and spreading the word once again. And Eric, if there's anything else you wanted to add there, then feel free. If not, you can, if you want to pick somebody to go next, or if anybody wants to volunteer to go next, then we can, yeah, basically feel free to pick somebody to go next, or somebody can volunteer to go next. What I just said.
Uh, there's nothing more to add. I think let's look at Penny. Penny can come on. Anyone here? I guess I would probably pick you. Then.
Oh, well, I already went there. I went like 10 minutes ago or so. So I see Eric, the other Eric has his camera on right now. So perhaps we could pass
Yeah,
it.
I actually did pick Eric in our room one. So okay, again, Eric, over to you.
Sure. I view this as really a reflection of what's going on in the outside world. People are feeling disconnected. They're feeling people aren't fair. Nonprofits have picked up a lot because people feel government isn't going to solve the problem. So more people have been banding together, forming organizations to get things done. And that's kind of where we started, a group of people who were looking for ways to restore connection, to get a sense of fairness, to get a sense of efficiency and get things done. And that's kind of, if you look at the first part with all the way back from Go Fractally and Edith, that was a kind of search. And in that, we started building these groups. And as the group started to kind of come together, we started thinking, okay, now what are we going to do? And that was probably our first big kind of crisis is, what do we want to do with this stuff? I mean, we kind of know how it is. And we started kind of getting this idea of kind of helping the real world looking for that. And that's kind of where optimism came out, because that was one of the first real sources of, oh, here's something where we can actually make a difference with this stuff. We can really apply it. So some of the work I've been doing is, how do we apply this to work outside of the technosphere and local and into the local sphere? But also there's this optimism and the same goal. How do we help real people do real things that has real effects to people, us and people beyond us? And after that, we kind of started reaching the thing is, oh, we're going to need some tools to do that. So that was kind of the tool development push. It's now, okay, now that we know who we want to help and we have a real start target of helping, we need to develop some tools. So a lot of work's been coming up with the tools and how to do that. So now we've kind of got real targets, real tool development. I think that the next year is going to be really focus on actually rolling this stuff out and getting real results. I think that's where we are now, is we're actually moving into that phase where we're really targeting real outcomes to the real world. So I think it's an exciting time.
I agree. I agree for sure, Eric. Well, thank you for the great presentation and reflection. And I'm excited to collaborate with you to bring it out to the market and the wider world. I see lots of claps that we had going on there. If there's anything else you wanted to add there, Eric, then feel free. You had a bit more time. Okay. If not, we have three people who are all pretty new. We still haven't heard from Naked Wire and Tammy. I saw that Tammy said that I think that she was enjoying the event in the chat. So glad to hear. And I also saw a message from Naked Wire before when we met Samuel before. But yeah, being that it's your first time at the Optimism Town Hall event, and I think you each joined the Optimism Fractal Respect Game event prior to it as well. If any of you would like to speak and share a bit of your reflection so far, obviously you're new, so there might be a lot of new information here, and so no pressure to share too much if you don't want to, but would love to hear your perspectives on what you've thought of so far of the Optimism Town Hall and the Optimism Fractal Respect game that happened before. And also, if you want to just generally introduce yourself, maybe generally introduce yourself and how you maybe contribute to optimism, or just where you're at basically in relation to optimism and Optimism Fractal, then would love to hear from you. And if you don't want to, that's okay as well. You're welcome to just listen. But Naked Wire, Samuel, and Tammy, if any of you want to unmute and share some thoughts, then you're welcome to do so now. And if not, we can also wrap it up shortly. I suppose not. So if you're feeling shy, that's no problem at all. And you can still feel free to unmute or raise your hand if you want to. With that being said, I suppose we could start wrapping it up. We're just about the top of the hour anyway, so we've been here all for a while now. Thanks all for the amazing anniversary event so far. I'll also just give a check to see if anybody wants to share any last thoughts before we wrap it up. I see Pat Novabat raise his hand. And Tammy
Absolutely.
just joined back again too, so I don't know if Tammy's having some issues or if you could hear, but I see Tammy's unmuted. So if you did want to speak, Tammy, then feel free.
You hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, Pat Novabat.
Okay. Something I was thinking really seriously here. I am not joking. I am very serious. I was thinking all what we are doing here into those fractal, Eden Fractal, Optimism Fractal, every fractal around the world. We can just help people that want to drink the juice of the fractal. And the other ones, we cannot do anything for them because they are so already like lobotomized or maybe already not inclined to accept any new ideas, new innovation. So you can only collaborate with heart, soul, and minded people. And it's not easy to find those people around the world. There are some people very, very bad around the world, for sure. But there are also some great humans that are heart, soul, and mind, and that are okay to accept what we are doing here. So maybe in one sentence, I want to say we cannot help people who doesn't want to drink the fractal chalice. And because you could do all what you can, they will never see that helpful. So you can just be in contact with people that are okay to do mindset shifting, or maybe that are thinking about other ways to collaborate. Into the Web2 world, there are already ways to collaborate. Those people will say, oh, that's make 10 years that I am working like that. I will not change anything. Don't come with anything. And in other sector, they will tell you, okay, we do a test. We take a unit of our sector and we will test your thing. So I think we should address the Web2 world, try to onboard the Web2 world into the Web3 through the fractals, through the app that is accepting email account, let's say social accounts. And then if you're happy with, you have an Ethereum address linked at a point. So yeah, that's just what I want to share with you. That has never been so obvious for me these last weeks. Before that was just not, I would not have been able to express that because that takes time to make some stepping back and to reflect sometimes on what we are doing. So that's all. Sounds again a little bit shitty. I don't know.
No, it sounds good, Patrick. Thank you for sharing. That's a good point too. As we're embarking on our second year, it's important to think about the best opportunities for growth. And as Eric said, and as several people mentioned, there's a whole wide world out there. And now that we have these great apps that are like well developed and like pretty much ready to be used and spread out around the world with easy sign in, we can start onboarding the whole world that's behind you there. So appreciate the perspective. And I also see Samuel raise his hand. So Samuel would like to share some thoughts here.
Okay, thank you for having me, and I really appreciate Samuel adding me to this community. I really appreciate one more thing you guys have is the warm welcoming you guys offer to newbies like me. So I'm a web dev, and as you all know, my name is Samuel. I'm trying to transition into Web3 development and blockchain. And I believe that aspect of accepting email addresses is one of the best things that can happen because those non-technical guys, they can see it like something very easy to go through. So I believe optimism is one of the tools that will bring one of these things into reality. That is making Web3 an everyday tool for everyone. And thank you for having me too.
Thank you very much, Samuel. I'm glad that you've enjoyed the event so far and it's been a welcoming place for you. We're just getting to know each other, but I really appreciate your attitude and your speech is very inspiring. So I hope that you'll join back for the next events, Thursdays at 7 UTC, and I look forward to learning more about your work and collaborating with you. And yeah, appreciate you speaking there, and I'm glad you've enjoyed it so far. I see we have two people
All right.
raised. Oh, what was that, Samuel? Did you
Hello,
want to say
can I
something else?
speak?
Oh, I just say thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. I see we have two people raising their hands, and we're just by the top of the hour, but we haven't yet heard from Tammy, who raised her hand, and then Eric also raised her hand. Oh, I see Tammy lowered her hand. You're so welcome to speak, though, Tammy. By the way, I'm happy to go for a couple minutes past top the hour, if you want to speak. So feel free to put that hand back up or unmute. Yeah, feel free, and then maybe Eric can go after Tammy speaks.
Hello, can you hear me?
Hey, Tammy, I can hear you. I didn't quite hear everything you said there. Maybe speak a bit louder.
Hi. Yes, is it better now?
Yeah, it's a little quiet, but I can hear you though.
All right. So, hello everyone. I'm Tammy. I have been in the Web3 space for a while now, and I am still learning about optimism. Yes, I am actually. So what I do know right now, the way they're using the super chains, make the interoperability process easy because honestly, Web3 it should be is the future of the internet, and Web2 we have the whole internet thing. The internet should be connected. So if optimism is doing that thing to make everything connected easily, then yeah, that's a good thing. And I am just joining in here today and no, I'm just joining. I can't really say much, but I have enjoyed my time here till now. And I hope to still join some other time and then more from the community.
All right. Well, sounds good. Thank you, Tammy, for introducing yourself. It's very nice to hear from you, and you're very welcome to be here. I see several people clapping you on too, giving some claps here. So yeah, I hope you'll join again on the future events on Thursdays. We meet every week, other than the break coming up. So if you want to join again next week, and we can learn more about you and your work and everything like that, then that would be awesome. And I'm glad you've enjoyed the experience so far.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. Now, I know Eric had his hands up before Naked Wire, but maybe since Naked Wire hasn't spoken yet, and Eric will probably have some good remarks to help conclude the event, then maybe we'll pass it to Naked Wire first, and then pass it to Eric afterwards, and then we'll wrap it up if that sounds good with everybody. Okay.
GM, can you hear me?
Yes, GM Naked Wire.
Yeah, I got onboarded into Optimism by my friend Eric. I'm a 2D and 3D artist and animator, and I do motion graphics and the rest, more of design. And I told him about Optimism. He told me he introduced some things to me about Optimism, and it's my first time joining here, and I really, really loved how everybody is communicating here. It's my first time being on a meeting on optimism, and I really want to explore optimism a lot. Thank you very much.
All right, excellent. You're welcome, and thank you, Naked Wire. And that's really cool to hear. Thank you, Eric, for inviting Naked Wire, as well as several other people here too. Guys, we will come and staff, see if people have a good time. Warm welcome from the community. And yeah, I'm looking forward to learning more about your work. You mentioned motion graphics design. That sounds really cool. And looking forward to helping you on your journey with optimism too. A lot of great stuff going on here. So I hope you'll join the upcoming events and I'm glad you've enjoyed it. And I look forward to collaborating with you in the future, Naked Wire.
Yeah, got you, Ma. Thank you.
You're welcome. I see several people put up hearts and confetti and stuff like that. We can start to wrap it up now because we've all been here for a while. But first, Eric has his hands up, and I'm sure that Eric has something insightful to say. So, Eric, what's on your mind?
Insightful, short, and very concluding. Yeah, the thing to remember, there are three things we have to get really good at to share this. The first is motivating people to want this. The second is making it easy for them to implement it. And the third is actually making it easy for them to share it. Those are the three things that grow these. The only thing to keep in mind is sometimes you have to do more than one with a single organization, because sometimes the motivation of management or decision makers is different from the people that run the place, which is different than the people that use this thing. And so you have to make each of them motivated to want to do it, easy to implement, and easy to share it with others. So that's hard lessons learned with doing organizational change in lots of organizations. So that's our mission. Motivation, make it easy to use and easy to share.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
Very well said. Well, that's something we should all keep in mind going forward as we start going into season 5 and our second year. Lots of claps and snaps and stuff like that. So great to hear from everybody at this Optimism Town Hall event. Thank you, Eric, for the insights as always. Thank you, everybody, for all the amazing retrospectives, retro pitches, for all the amazing contributions over the past year. I suppose if anybody else want to jump in with any quick last thoughts, you feel free, but also we don't want to keep going on for too long. We want to make sure that everybody can get some time away from the computer screen too. So appreciate everybody's thoughts very much. I see people starting to wave. Maybe I'll share a quick presentation to start. Just give us a little outro here. This has been a great Optimism Town Hall event. Thank you everybody for joining. I invite you to join on next week on Thursday, 18 UTC, as well as the Optimism Fractal event, the season finale of both the Optimism Town Hall and the Optimism Fractal Respect Game events coming up next Thursday at 17-18 UTC. By the way, also Eden Fractal had its season finale yesterday, so it will be returning in late November. But yeah, I encourage you to join Optimism Fractal and Optimism Town Hall next Thursday at 17 UTC and 18 UTC for the two events. We're going to be playing some Optimism retro games, continuing with retro season. So encourage everybody to join. We'll maybe kind of continue the anniversary celebrations a little bit then, and celebrate retro season 2. We're going to be doing retro pitches again with the Optimism Collective Governance. So once again, happy anniversary. Thank you everybody so much for the amazing event today and the amazing contributions over the past year. Really excited to go into our second year with you and looking forward to embarking on the next steps as well as the next events for retro season next week. So with that, I think maybe we can sign off by saying 3, 2, 1, and maybe we say go Optimism Fractal because it's the 1-year anniversary. That sound good? 3, 2, 1, go Optimism Fractal. Yeah. Okay. Ready?
Okay.
Okay. 3, 2,
1,
0.
Go Optimism
Go
Fractal.
Optimism Fractal.
Yeah, baby.
All right. Thanks all so much. Hope to see you at next week's event. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Thank you.